Hello, my name is Patrick Maxwell, and today I'm going to try to help and explain how to propagate any herbaceous and non-woody plant. The three things that we're going to need today, or actually the three things to start off we're going to need. We're going to need a clean and sharp pair of pruners. They need to be clean because if they're dirty, then it has the propagated plant is a lot more susceptible to disease, and thus we need them clean and sharp. The second thing we need is rooting hormone. This rooting hormone is available at any commercial home and garden store such as Lowe's or Home Depot, and all it is it contains auxin, which is a natural hormone that plants produce to help rooting. And all we're going to do is, this is a little cheat sheet so it speeds up the process a little bit. And next we're just going to need a pot with good, adequate soil. I don't know if you can see that, but this soil right here has been prepared. It's got some petrolite in there just to help air, and it's just a good mix of soil. Okay, so now we need to find the mother plant from which we're going to propagate from. And today we're going to propagate some roses. Okay, and since we're propagating roses, it's very good to have gloves on because they're not the most forgiving plant. Okay, so we're going to go and we're going to look around here on the plant, and it's best to find a young stem where the petals have just recently fallen off. And so let's see, let me find one we're going to use today. This one right here looks like a great subject. You can see it's got some new growth. This red right here, little stem right here, means it's young. And you can propagate or cut from any portion along the stem, because roses they're one of the rare varieties of plants that are able to grow roots from any place, not just at nodes. So what we're going to do is we're going to make we're going to trim it up a little bit around where we're going to make the cut, and watch out for these thorns. So we're just going to make a nice 45-degree cut. We like 45 degrees because that gives us the most surface area right here. And next thing we're going to do is a little trick of the trade. We're going to take that and we're just going to make these little cuts. We're literally just wounding the plant all around the base of it. And this wounds right here will help adventitious roots develop later during the rooting process. Okay. It may look like I'm just kind of scraping it or whatever, but I'm really wounded, and it's actually going to help the plant. Okay, so next thing we need to go over here to our rooting hormone. We need to take a little bit of this out, pour it in the cup just like that. That's all we're going to need. We're not even going to need that much. So we're going to take that and we're going to dip it all in there. All our wounds need to be covered. You need to make sure these wounds are covered, because if these wounds are not covered, then there's a great chance that disease is going to develop and this rooting is not going to be successful. Okay, so we got it. Looks all white like that and everything. Next thing we're going to do, we need to make a little hole for it, because we don't want to lose any of this auxin through the soil before we go. So we're just going to place it just in the soil like that. And we're going to cover it up a little bit. And after we do that, we're going to take this, and it may seem like we're harming it, but we're really not. We're going to cut this young portion off because we don't want that stealing energy while it's trying to produce roots. So we're going to cut all these leaves off, just like that. And just like that, we have a rose propagation. Now for post-cutting care. Follow me over here and we're going to go. And if you're like most of us and you don't have a readily available greenhouse anywhere, then we can make a greenhouse, because we need to keep this at high moisture levels in the soil and around the plant, in the air around the plant. Because the higher the humidity, the higher chance of roots developing. Roots like high humidity. So we need to find a place though in shade. So anywhere with adequate shade, we can do that. And like I said, if you don't have availability to a greenhouse, we can make us a mini greenhouse. Okay, so I'm going to find a spot over here. And I just so happen to have my little greenhouse prepared. And you can tell this is a nice, shady, moist environment just because we have some fungus growing right here. That's just kind of a here sign that we got a good environment for it. So we're going to take it, we're going to place that over it. And we're not going to leave it in there much, because if we do, then it doesn't get any new air or anything. It's just circulating stale air around the plant, and that's not good for the plant. So we're just going to leave it in there for maybe a couple of days, like that. Remove the bottle every once in a while. Make sure it's good and watered here, and then put it right back. And then for about 2 or 3 weeks, we're just going to leave it, just doing this process. And after that, we do that, we can literally, it should have formed roots by then. And a lot of time, a here sign when it forms roots is, you'll see new leaves or buds develop along the stem. And that's a here sign that roots have developed. And so now you've done that, you can take the cover off and you can take it and you can plant it somewhere else. And you got a whole new plant. And that's the key, is successfully propagating roses. Thank you, I hope you have a great day.